Hello everyone and welcome back to Signs and Wonders Tarot. Today I am looking at a volcano, a very menacing volcano potentially, and that is Campi Flegrei, the supervolcano in the Naples area. It was responsible for the biggest ever volcanic eruption in the Mediterranean. That was 40,000 years ago, so you might think, oh well, so what? But it's very volatile. It erupted most recently in 1538, and it's known for periods of uplift and deflation, and most of the time they're pretty benign. That's just how the volcano tends to behave. Most recent period of uplift started about 20 years ago, and again, so what? But it's been joined by very disturbing earthquake swarms, which started a couple of years ago and are just rattling on and on and on. Some of them big enough to do quite serious damage to buildings that are old, that are not built up to modern standards, earthquake standards. And even more disturbing have been things like roads melting, the sea boiling. Quite scary. And scary particularly, as I say, this is a very, very dangerous volcano when it really gets going, pyroclastic flows, that kind of thing. And it's in a hugely densely populated area where it's very difficult to evacuate at short notice. If this thing blows, it's very, very dangerous. And the reason I'm looking at it today is it's been on my radar. Quite a few sites on Earth are on my radar. It's not just this one, but we're going to start here in this current crop of readings and look at this one. This one because quite a few psychics have come out, clairvoyants have come out recently and said they see a very destructive eruption, volcanic eruption in Italy. And this is a likely culprit. If anything's going to blow big time, this is the one. And so that's why I'm looking at this today. I'm going to have a look at the situation, people, how they're feeling about it, advice, and then we're going to take it out 5 years from the rest of this year, and then have an outcome card. If this thing does blow, how bad is it likely to be? So a bit of an odd spread. I've tried to start this reading a few times before and not managed to fit all my cards on. So hopefully this is third time lucky for me as a tarot reader. Get the cards on the table. We can get the right energy on the table too. I think I've got it this time. Fingers crossed. I can't imagine personally living in that area with all that level of anxiety, not knowing literally what's going on under your feet. So I do feel for the people there. I'm not doing this as a kind of fear-mongering reading. I'm checking energy. I want to know what's going on. That's the what's going on situation. Then we're going to do some years here. Take it out. Oh, you can't see, can you? Take it out. Those are the years I'm going to look at, and I'm going to squish a little outcome card in somewhere to see how bad this is going to be if it goes. I don't think it's a question of if. I think that in its future it does have potential to go. That's the outcome card down there. Very odd looking reading, as you can see. And you can see why I had to start this all over again. 5 of Wands. It's an interesting energy because it's conflict energy, and there is conflict around this because the authorities, of course, are saying nothing to worry about, carry on living your life, and there is some dispute about this and how dangerous this is, whether there should be any concern about this. But it also gives me, because it's wands, it's fire, and it's conflict, it's contesting. It's a lot of energy in that 5 of Wands card. That's the volcano. That's the volcano, whether there's magma filling up underneath, the uplift. You get that sense of conflict. You get that sense of elements struggling with each other, literally, in the earth structure in that card as well. So humans contesting, standing on top of it, but underground, in the earth itself, I'm getting this testing. I'm getting the sense, and I'm feeling quite uneasy as I'm saying this, really chills as I'm saying this, just this idea of magma pushing and testing for weaknesses, testing for where it can actually start to flow. So that's the underlying energy, not a happy energy for me as an energy reader, I have to say. So the situation, what's going on? We got the Four of Pentacles. How interesting is this card? Because of the way it's just drawn with someone sitting on something and hanging on for dear life and their feet planted down on the ground as if they're trying to push this thing back down and keep it from erupting. It's, as I say, it's a densely populated area, historical area, very precious area, I would think, culturally, and this is a sense of people almost like resisting it. This can't happen now. It can't happen now. That's the situation. That's a very vivid visual for me reading this thing, and it's interesting. That we have this kind of ancient building scenario in the background there, and water, and someone's feet, and of course the Bay of Naples, if the thing erupts under there. So awful, so awful. So anyway, let's move on. That's the situation, right? That's the underlying energy. Hard to keep track of this crazy looking spread for me as well as for you. So people's feelings. How they're doing. I just want a sense of how the population's feeling. Queen of Cups, and it's in reverse. Anxiety. The Queen of Cups is all in your feels when you're in Queen of Cups energy. Again, the water. Again, a sense of the past. For me, the Queen of Cups looks at the past. She's very sentimental in her mindset and looking at history, looking at the past, feeling very emotionally attached to the area at home. The Queen of Cups is very emotionally attached to the past and to home, and is all about connection and self-care and caring for others. Very disturbed when it's in reverse, unhappy, upset. I'm getting Italian mother kind of energy that's coming through. I don't want it to be a cliche, but it's like, what's going to happen to my family? What's going to happen to my children? What's going to happen to the people I love? What's going to happen to the place I love? It's very emotional, this Queen of Cups in reverse, and not knowing how to find comfort and peace in this energy. Advice to people living in this situation. And I've got the King of Pentacles, and it's very powerful. It's a very strong card. It's very much don't panic, which is good. It don't panic. And it goes against the grain for me because I'm a rebel at heart. I don't trust authority figures. I was born in a country where I learned that very quickly. Don't trust authority figures, but in this case, King of Pentacles, it is giving me the idea that this situation is being very closely monitored. Pentacles are earth. Kings are experts, are leaders. And so people are on it who know what they're talking about. So yes, I know it's controversial, and I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, but there are eyes on this, and the eyes are watching, and the eyes know what they're doing. There is just a little bit of energy, and I'm always going to look for this kind of energy of not wanting to rock the boat with King of Pentacles, because it's about stability, it's about business, it's about wanting to keep systems going and the economy going and all of that. Can't panic, can't make you all evacuate for 20 years until the situation calms down again or the thing blows. Can't do that. So there is a sense of that, but that's a minor sense. I'm asking for advice to people. So this is carry on. Just carry on and keep a watchful eye on the situation. So let's look at now and leading to 2029. This is now, rest of 2025. Likelihood of going. I think I'm going to pull them all out and get a sense. Okay, that's the bad one. That's the bad one. Okay, That's the bad one. All right. Rest of the year, 2025. Got the Hermit. That's the gurus, the sages, the people who know what's what, watching, waiting, if just watchful. I got the watchful energy over here. This is someone's always got an eye on it, a wakeful energy, which I don't normally get with a Hermit. It's coming through is quite unusual. It's experts, and experts are watching. Lone watchmen, people with an eye on it. Even the psychics are coming through here, as we're all watching. The alarm hasn't quite gone off yet. Next year, 2026, is conflict card, Five of Swords. Getting conflict around this thing because we've already got the Five of Wands as the underlying energy. There might be like a false alarm next year with this thing. Again, water and again land around it, and the Bay of Naples there, and people disputing about it, and maybe a little bit of a false alarm, and then people saying, oh, relax, it's not going to happen. That's how this is reading for me. And then we come to the real trouble, 2027, which is the Tower. This is the card I did not want to see in this reading. And it's shown up. And it's shown up in reverse. And I might say, oh well, who cares? Because it's in reverse. That means the drama's over and we can all go back. We escaped calamity, but we've got a card of grief following it in 2028. And then 2029 is like rallying and sorting it out. So I'm reading this as a little story. Now, watchful eye. Next year, possibly a false alarm. If it's going to go, in my opinion, and this is just tarot, a disclaimer here, this is a tarot reading, and I have meditated on this. I've sat with this for a long time, and I have asked for good energy to come through in this reading, useful, helpful energy to come through in this reading. That's the year that I don't like the look of, 2027, with the Tower, which is a shock. An eruption, a volcano would be a shock, would be Tower energy. It's the absolute card that I did not want to see because it represents a thing exploding, basically. In reverse, I would say unexpected, particularly after what looks like a false alarm here, or a little or something. And then the big one goes. And I'm saying the big one goes because of what comes in 2028 and 2029. A lot of mourning, like almost a period of mourning with that Five of Cups. And I'm very sorry to see this energy. I'm feeling very emotional as I'm doing this reading. And then comes I'm almost getting like, apart from the obvious kind of energy of like, it's quite strange, this energy. I can't think, is it Vatican or is it Swiss Guard? It's that kind of medieval outfit, that rescuey kind of energy is coming from. It's coming from elsewhere, coming in to fix, to help. This card is the outcome of this thing if it blows. And I hope I'm absolutely wrong. And I've got an interesting energy with this Nine of Wands because it's telling me it's not going to be nearly as bad as it could be, because it's a defensive energy with that Nine of Wands, that somehow there's protection around this situation. Nine of Wands is literally boundaries and barricades and cordoned off energy. And that gives me cause for hope that if this thing does blow, one of the other things about the Tower in reverse is that it could blow but not be nearly as bad as was expected, or as it potentially could be. It's like dialed down. And maybe it's dialed down because people dial it down energetically. And it's one of the reasons why I do these readings. I've decided to do these readings, is to see how our energy can influence things. And if this thing is going to go, it looks like plans are in place, experts are in place, more than one might expect if you watch some of the more sensationalist stuff that's out there about this thing. And this is very interesting. There is damage because this person in the Nine of Wands is damaged. And the damage that happens in the Nine of Wands is not a one-off. Because there is damage, and then the person has learned to defend themselves against the damage, expecting more damage to come. So this is something that has happened in the past. This is something that will carry on in the future. So there is damage, but there are precautions that are in place to protect. There will be harm. I know there will be harm because of this Five of Cups. There will be loss, but I don't think it will be nearly as bad as it could potentially be if people weren't monitoring it as closely as they are monitoring it. And again, there is some sense for me that this is something people can invest energy in. The Hermit card particularly is speaking to this for me, like an energy, a beam of light almost, that can protect the situation to some extent. Yeah, I'm sounding a bit weird, but that's why I'm here. I am a bit weird, more than a bit weird. That's your reading, and I'll be looking at other potentially volatile areas as well in the coming days and weeks going forward, because I think the earth is going through a very volatile time energetically, just as we are as well as a collective. So that's the reading. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.